Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. It is yet another Wednesday night when we come to your home, right on your television, on your phone, on your computer, through the social media, whichever method, we come to you. And we are so grateful that you will always open your house for us. May the Lord richly bless you. My name is Bishop Mark Karaoke, your pastor and your friend for a long time, coming to you through the One Accord Television Open Talk. In Open Talk, you talk or I talk. We just talk open with an aim that out of the open talk, you will get something that will help you in your life. You will get an idea that will take you to the next level. You will get a nugget out of our discussion with our guests, and it will change your way of thinking. Remember, Open Talk is founded on the Word of God. That is our base and our foundation. That whatever we do is on the Word of God. So it is meant to inform, to educate, to bring a correction, a rebuke, an advice, an idea where you can get ideas. Remember, nobody has a monopoly of knowledge. Nobody has a monopoly of wisdom. And as we talk, you receive something. And as you send feedback to us, we also receive something. So we are a team working together. And last Wednesday, we had this very special couple who just spoke to our hearts, and out of public demand, they are together with us tonight. This is none other than Godfrey and Emmah Mwenda. Welcome to our program tonight. May the Lord richly bless you. I hope you have had a good week, and the Lord has blessed you. But you know there are people who are on today and were not there last Wednesday. So would you want to bring greetings, Mwenda, please?
Yes, thank you, Bishop, and praise God to the viewers. We're so grateful to be here one more time, and we're so delighted to be considered for another talk to share our story. Yes, I'm born again, and I love the Lord, and we're so happy to be here today.
Thank you so very much. Yes, Emmah, would you want to bring greetings to our viewers?
Yes, Bishop, thank you. It's really a privilege for us to be here. We are glad to be here again. Emmah is my name, Emmah Mwenda. I'm born again and excited also to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you for coming to be with us. And I'm sure you're getting information. You get calls and text messages, whatever the people are saying. Thank you for your story. It is exciting. It is exciting, and it is also encouraging. That so many people have been encouraged by your story, and I trust that even as we go forward, many more will receive the word and be encouraged. Now, as I told you last time, those of you who are with us, Godfrey and Emmah Mwenda are graduates of Egerton University, and they are entrepreneurs here in the city of Nairobi, and they are members of the House of Bread and Majestic City Deliverance Church here in Nairobi. I had the privilege of being there when they were getting married, and it has always been a joy to see them turn around to the people that God intended them to be. And God is still working in their lives, and much more is coming. Welcome. Thank you so very much. So, I am still, my mind is still going on through that noise-making boy who is turned into a prefect, and then out of sheer determination decides in mathematics, you have been my worst, but you are going to be my best subject. Yes. And you just got into it, and I'm seeing this girl going to the people's farms so she could get some money to attend a camp. A gospel camp to be fed on the word of God. I'm seeing this young girl who is out selling socks vigorously, and just makes a decision and says, from now I'm not going to sell socks anymore, and makes a decision and goes home, and doors just opening. And now you are already in Egerton College. Now we will hold on to where we left. We are in Egerton College. You are the Christian Union chairman, and you have gone for this conference or seminar in Nakuru, and there's somebody you need to talk to, and you have cooked up an idea to invite this young girl to come and lead praise and worship, and word has not been taken to her as yet. That's where that's where we stopped. Yes, now, before we move from there, now we left when you were at the bus stop. You have been dropped in town, waiting for a vehicle to take you to Egerton. Let us now go backwards. Let us rewind. Let's rewind and come to Emmah. You have gone to Egerton. You have received your letter of admission to Egerton. What happens?
Yes, I remember I received the letter. I was very excited. Indeed, I was. But I had some few fears behind my head. Yes, I'm going to university. Where is the school fees? But Bishop, as you have said, the determination that I had is that I will make it in life. It doesn't matter, but I will make it in life. So we are there. Normally what I used to see, other children from the village, when they are going to the university, the parents somehow used to do some harambe. We used to call them harambe. But in my case, there was no planning. Days are going. I was supposed, and I reported on 25th of August 2003 in Egerton University. But now days are coming, and it's like things, no one who is asking, how are you going? I mean, where is the school fees? But I really thank God for my sister. She's called Joki, my elder sister. Because when now it's on Thursday, and I'm supposed to report on a Monday, she just told me, Wanjiro, I'm being called Wanjiro in the village. Wanjiro, the way I'm seeing things, we will go to Kibarua on a Friday, get the money that we will get there. I will give you the one that I will be paid, and you go to Nairobi, to our uncles. Let our uncle take you to Egerton University. And exactly that's what we did. We went to Kibarua on a Friday, and on Saturday we consolidated the money that we were paid, and I came to Nairobi, Githurai. There, we used to make phone calls with these, what they called the booths. Yes. So I called my uncle, and I tell him I'm coming to Nairobi for them to take me to Egerton on a Monday. And I came to Githurai. The wife was friendly because she made my hair. And on Monday, my uncle says, you will go now with my auntie to Egerton University. You go with her. We went, we reached to Nakuru a little bit late, and it was raining. And that was the admission, day, the reporting day. So we did not manage to go to university. She had a brother in a neighborhood to Egerton University. And we spent a night. And how God works, I don't know what my uncle, brother to my mother, thought, because he came that night. He came, and now on Tuesday 26th, we go together to university, to Joro campus. We are there, we start the process. We are starting the process, and we go now to finance. And finance, they state a certain percentage has to be paid. And we had no money. But what normally used to happen, we used actually to apply for loans. To apply for university loans, I had applied. I had given all the information about myself. But surprisingly, I think somehow in my journey of life, God really wanted to show that He's the one who is taking control. Because I was given the least amount, the one that now the rich children are given. That's what I was given. Actually, it was 13,500. That's the loan I was given to cater for me the whole year, that academic year. So we go there, There is school fees to be paid. They said around 26,000 was to be paid. And of course, the accommodation, we used to pay for our accommodation. The hostels in the university were paid separately. And the finance guy says, you know, you have to pay this amount. And I remember my uncle and my auntie, they said, because we do not have the money, what we are going to do, you defer. We go back to the village for that 1 year, we look for money, you defer for 1 year. We look for money, then we will come back. But somehow, I had known Grace Jessie. By then, she was Grace Mwangi. We come from the same place in Kirinyaga. And we actually met in church. I had known Grace with a daughter to Mzee wa Kanisa. In the village, we used to have Wazee wa Kanisa. And she told me, even Grace we met in a place called Kutus, she's also joining Egerton University. This was a divine connection because while we are there, now we are saying we are going back home. I do I write a deferment letter. And I saw this girl. I'm looking at the girls there. I'm seeing like I know this girl. Then I see, yes, I know her. So I go and ask her, are you Grace? And she tells me, yes, I'm Grace. So I tell her, we met in Kutus with the so and so. Yes, this is Emmah. Yes, this is Emmah. And there I start telling Grace my issues. You know, now we are going home. There is no school fees. I'm going home. And Grace, she was with the father. She was brought to university by the father. Grace tell me, I had a cousin. She had the same issues as yours, but she reapplied for the help. You used to call it help. And you know, when you apply, they can add for you. Now, we had tried to talk to these people. When students are coming, they also come. The help people from Nairobi, they also come. But you see them behind the room. They are smaller windows. You speak your issues there. So we had tried with my uncle, and they did not listen to us. So when Grace told me that, I don't know where the courage came from. It's from God. Because I just walked. I'm now walking towards where they are. It's during lunchtime. Now I'm walking, I be number 1 at the window again. That while walking, I found people coming out of the car. And I spotted that guy who is coming out of the car is the guy I met in Nairobi when I was applying for help. So I speak to him. He's coming out of the car. I speak to him. I tell him, my name, actually no greetings. My name is Emmah. Now I can't be admitted because I don't have school fees. And I narrate my story. My uncles followed me because I've walked, I've not told them where I've gone. They had decided we are going home. So this guy, he was an old man. He tells me, not very really, but he tells me, come, just come. So instead of going behind the window, I'm getting into an office. He opens the computer. He check whatever I'm telling him, it's matching with what is in computer. He nodded his head. He take a paper with the letterhead of help. Write, admit this girl, we are sending the money and lab stamp. And he tells me, go, we will increase your help, but meanwhile, we have authorized for the university to admit you.
Wow. Wow, wow. Isn't that God?
That's God.
The God who is never late.
Yes.
He's the God who is always on time. You know, you could be facing a situation, my friend, and you are saying, I don't know what to do. The God who is never late is your God. Now you are admitted.
Yes.
You are. How did you get to the Christian Union?
Now, the day that we were admitted, and Bishop, before I come there, I want to talk to young girls. I have that heart of the young girls. I remember when I got the letter that I'm going to university, one thing I did, I had a support system, and get the support system of people of your value. I had a support system of young girls like me that we were praying together. fasting together. One of them is a teacher, she's called Wawera again. Another one is here in Nairobi, she's called Wangoi. And many other brothers and sisters that we were praying together. When I got the letter, we went to pray in church for 3 days. And I remember this verse very well even up today. And I think it was God who was speaking to me, that I will go before you and make the crooked way straight. I will break in the sandals, you know, those gates. And I will give you riches hidden in the darkness. I knew they are riches hidden in the darkness. And that was my prayer even in this prayer camp that we went for 3 days, that those riches hidden there, you will pay school fees for me, God. I know you will pay school fees for me. And exactly that's what God did. So young girls, do not mix yourself. Just trust in God. When my mother died, I told God, you are my father, provide. And that is my principle even today.
So you have no idea who you are looking for. You don't have all these details that you have now, but you have seen a praise and worship leader, and this one I am going to talk to her. You are at the bus stage.
Yes.
So what happened?
Yes, thank you, Bishop, for this opportunity. Just a little bit to go back. The first day I meet this girl in the CU, and we meet in what are those, the places where people go for meals called mess. Student mess. I remember, of course, the inquisitive me is that, what is your name? She tells me, Emmah Wanjiro, where do you come from? Kirinyaga. What do your parents do? The father is, he said, I think they are teachers or something. And she gave me the number. And the story ended. So I remember that after that, before even the bus station, the way actually I am starting to plot something, we went for a mission somewhere in Kirinyaga. Now we are the CU leaders, myself and the missions coordinator, it's called Elias, he went to Europe, and Central Evangelistic Team, they invite us for a mission in Kirinyaga, a place called Kiamishiri. Now she was a leader also in SET. Now they have invited us, and then as the leadership of the CU, now myself and the missions coordinator, we've opted to attend this mission. So of course for them, they really felt so nice that the CU leaders have decided to come for a mission.
The bishops. Yeah.
Yes, the bishops have decided to come for a mission. So the responsibility that we had in the mission was to cast demons. That was our work. And to pray for things that would bother others. So remember, people have gone for, we have come from a door-to-door mission, evangelism. We are preparing for the crusade. The missions coordinator was very good in the crusade preaching. He's an evangelist in his calling. So now I told them what we do, we need to wash our clothes. So we decided to wash our clothes during that time. Now when we are carrying our trousers to wash, we meet this girl. Now this girl all along, I would admire her long hair. No, my wife has got very long hair, very nice. I would admire the long hair and she's singing. And of course, very innocently, you just admire and you swallow the
admiration.
Admiration. So now I meet this girl here, she's going to wash her clothes. So actually I told her that, I don't know if it's me who told her or she asked us that she asked us if she can wash for us. And of course, the bishops are so grateful to give their clothes to be washed. So actually she washed the clothes. Now when she's returning, she washed and they got dry and she ironed and returned to us. So after the mission, when I went home, oh man, this lady will not leave my mind. Not leave my mind. Now we are home for a long holiday. Maybe something that I need to mention there also. God was so faithful when I went to Egerton myself. My support system was my mother, and actually our firstborn brother. He's the one actually who supported me. I remember my father just appeared to Egerton the first day of admission, and actually the next time he came was graduation. He's never appeared. So the school fees that I got all along for, I'm sure you may probably get there, for Egerton, is my brother who supported me, my mother, and myself. Because thank God for the double intake that happened earlier. So we would study for 1 semester and break for 1 semester. For me, that was a miracle. Because when you break for that 1 semester, I would go look for kibaruas, for jobs. I work during those 3 months we are home. I have school fees for the next semester. When others are complaining they have stayed in for too long in the university, for me it was a blessing. Somehow God made it as a design. So you go home for 3 months. Of course it is crossing my mind, so you go back to Egerton. Go back to Egerton. Now that is now where the mission now of course I meet the girl again. The whole thing comes back to my mind, pray about it. I remember one night actually I couldn't sleep, so I had to go to the prayer room in the night, and I read a scripture. Incidentally, you quoted that scripture, the scripture you quoted in our wedding day. And I couldn't sleep because this girl is all over my mind. Now we are left at the bus station. Now me, I have the girl with me here. So now I said, now the girl, of course she looked timid. Now how do I behave with the CU chairman? How do I behave with the CU chairman? The two of us. I'm also so timid, I've never had a girl in my space again. The two of us, this is CU leader and this is a praise and worship leader. And I have an intention to say something. So how do I even say it? No, I'm not asking, no, and how do people say it? So that I'm giving them more Kenya. So we went to buy lunch. And now we went to buy lunch somewhere in a place in Nakuru. So that is why I told her that I love you. I can't remember the ones I said. And I said I would want to get married to you or something. I can't remember what I said. The only thing I remember she tells me is that I forgot my phone. After saying that, I couldn't remember anything else because I'm like, this thing should finish and we go away as fast as possible. But now we have a journey from Nakuru all the way to Egerton. So what will we be talking all the way on the road? So of course, we go back to Egerton. So I remember telling her that she should not take long giving me the feedback because she said that she want to go pray. So I told her, don't pray forever. Even though if it is a no, you just come and tell me no, though I don't expect. You just come and tell me the no. And we will continue and be friends and we move on. And we move on. And of course, she promised not to stay long. I think 2 weeks later, she told me that she wanted to see me. Oh, man. Now I've not been nervous like that before. I'm not so sure what I'm going to be told. And then it's whether I want to see you. I got something to tell you. So in Egerton, there is a ARC. ARC is a nice hotel where actually lecturers, the only lecturers who go there, and don't go there maybe once in the semester at the beginning when we have money. So now me, I of course psyched myself and said at least I can afford a cup of tea. So I went to some corner and with the girl, we are sitting there, and I'm like, please tell me we are here quickly. So now she starts the story. Slowly, oh, you came, you told me, and of course there she says yes. I said yes. Wow, oh man, I still have a photo.
Oh, you took some photos?
Actually, there were some people who are taking photos there. I still have a photo that you're taking the photo outside there. This day that she said yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And now the rest of it is history.
Now the rest is history.
Now, how many children do you have?
We have 2 children, very beautiful children. That is Precious Kadhambi Mwenda, she's 10 years old, and Matt Mugambi Mwenda, who is turning 5 in June.
Wow, wow. Okay. Now, you have gotten married. You have now children. How did you get to Nairobi?
Thank God. After high school, my father was still in Nairobi. And that time he was selling tea leaves. He would really do, can I call it more or less like hawking tea leaves? You can go to Mombasa, buy tea leaves, come and repackage and sell. So now after I performed well in Form 4, everybody wants to be associated with success. So my father comes for me and tells me, no, let's go to Nairobi. So me, I joined Mzee back to Nairobi. Of course, he happy coming from the village to come back to the city. So I came to the city immediately after Form 4. And now I couldn't sit in the house. So I joined in the selling of the majani chai. So I go there from Gekomba, walking in the morning. From Gekomba all the way to Mpisha. On Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday we go to Thika, Thursday in Nairobi, and Friday in Nairobi, and Saturday in Thika. So that is what we'll do. So then slowly, I think he was making money actually, because we'll go to the bank every Friday. Every Friday we'll go to, and it was good money that you deposit in the bank. But my dad was a bit stingy, so could not enjoy that. And my dad was very hard. He was very hard on us. Even if I'm staying with him, I was not feeling very comfortable. But that time, because I was staying in Githurai, I would go to Githurai Deliverance Church. Go to Githurai Deliverance Church, and I would feel that it is time. So I remember one time my brother, firstborn brother, they were staying in Kirugoya. And he started business. And he was feeling that Mzee is not giving him support. Me as his younger brother, I need my brother to be supported. So remember one time, I opened the shop for him. And he took I think 4 bags of majani chai. Oh man, Mzee coming to realize that it is me who released the majani chai. Oh, now it was hell on me. I'm trying to cover my brother, but now, you can't hide 4 bags, they have been taken. So it was so hard on me. Well, I remember actually even at some point as in Mzee is like, everything that is in this house, it is me who has paid for it, including the seat you're sitting on. The way as in I really felt so uncomfortable. And actually at some point I felt like, can I just sneak out and go back to the village? Now that is immediately after Form 4. Life was so hard on me. That time, he paid for me a course in Strathmore College to do CPAs. I didn't want to do CPAs. Me and told him that what I wanted to do, if you want to pay for me, is IT. And not CPAs. But now because he pushed me through to CPAs, so I took it. And that is also a word to the parents. Don't push to your children what they don't want. Be part of their learning. So I'm pushed into the CPA class. Now, unfortunately, during the same time, results of CPA Section 1, they come out. I have failed the 3 exams. Oh, man, how do I tell Mzee? I let his majani to be stolen. Now, I'm here coming with 3 failures. All of them, it is a fail in the results. And here I am. Oh, man, it was so difficult. It was such a very hard time. But by then I was doing a CPA Section 2. So I go back to the lecturer and ask, now what can I do? I'm told that unless now you do the 6 exams, there is no other option. So I'm like, how do I tell Mzee this? So I remember taking myself to the church. I would actually really go to the Deliverance Church not Thika, but Deliverance Church Githurai, and I would really cry. I was longing for Sunday. Because now I knew Sunday, the freedom. I would go to church from morning. So an evening that it is now time to go home. So I'm like, why can't we have an evening service? And at least they are bit in church. And I would really cry. So one day I gathered guts and told him that I did the exam, I didn't perform very well. But somehow I think God gave me the wisdom to tell him, to give him also a solution. That I didn't perform very well, but I'm already reading for the same exam. The only thing that I would just need to do is to pay some little money to sit for the exam. And Mzee, of course, says it's okay. It is your life. Actually dismissed, and I was like, wow. This can only be God. So there I am. I'm in Nairobi. I'm doing the walking of majani chai. A bit of aggression. By then, I'm so young, and somehow God is giving some entrepreneurial mindset in me. So I told a cousin that we were with, that suppose if we register a name. So actually we registered the name for the majani chai, because Mzee was just packing in plain polythene bags. So we registered a name. I went to River Road with my cousin, and we printed papers for packaging with his name. And I went to the supermarkets. I remember actually some of the supermarkets that I went to the supermarkets. We went to schools like McKinney schools with my cousin. I'm so small, I'm imagining, and with a lot of I think innocence and all that. Went to Makin schools, went to some schools in Rongai, and we got orders to supply Majan Chai there. I remember actually I got an order in Mpisha Hospital to supply Majan. And actually Mzee supplied that Majan for a long time. So for me, those now my failure of Strathmore and my failure in these other things were becoming as a soother for him, because now I've gotten for him business that he could not get. And there I am, of course, I'm making money from Mzee. Of course, he takes all the money. I mean, it's good to share money that you're making with your children, honestly. So making all the money and giving him and all that kind of a thing. So now I'm in Nairobi, already in business. Now then, this is during the transition of Form 4 and university. So I go to the university. So of course I came back to Nairobi a few times, but now because I didn't like Mzee, so I stopped coming and went to the village. Now during the university, I remember in my third year, we were given the help, just like my wife said, for the loan. So I asked my friend, who was not the missions coordinator, so we asked one another that, why do people pay school fees? They pay school fees so that they do exams. When do you do exams? You don't do exams at the beginning of the term. You do exams at the end of the term. So I told my friend Elias, now what do we do? We'll go to the forest in it has a name, past Ngongongeri, those.
Ngongongeri.
Yes, those signs. So I told him we'll go to the forest and we'll go look for land. You go look for land and we'll lease 5 acres. And these 5 acres, we hear that potatoes that come from those signs, they're very good for chips. We'll lease 5 acres of land and we'll plant all that shamba, potatoes. Elias he said this is a very good idea. Why not? Now we are the CU chairman and the CU missions coordinator. So I told him what we'll do. Now him was studying a course called agricultural economics, agricultural and home economics. I was doing agricultural economics. So I told him what you do, you lobby in your class that you don't have a class on Monday and Friday. And I'll also do the same lobby in my class, so that we have time to go to the farm. Time to go to the farm. Somehow, I think lecturers didn't want to teach on Mondays and Fridays. So they would squeeze all their classes between Tuesday and Thursday. And it happened. So on Friday morning, I think we had 1 class in the morning and also we had like 1 or 2. Immediately after our class. And then on Fridays, we had the minikesha. And the minikesha in the evening. So the bishops have to go to the farm and come back for minikesha in the evening and the Saturday fellowship. So on Friday, immediately after class, myself and Elias to the forest. Now there we got our 5 acres. 5 acres. And what are we using? Our school fees. It's our school fees that we diverted to go do our farming. And that is when we started our farming. That's how we started our farming business at the forest. We did our 5 acres. Now we discovered in between that our capital we were draining. So we looked for that partner. Who is still here. He's called Josephat. So Josephat comes in. He was doing his masters. So he pumped in money, but Josephat has never stepped in the farm. So he was more or less like, I think, a quasi partner or something. He was not stepped, he was not interested and all that. So now here we are. Now I think in our mathematics, I don't know how we had done our mathematics. We didn't know that potatoes will take 3 months. And the term is 3 months. And we had started farming into the 3 months. So now here we are, our potatoes are here. We are approaching the exam. And the potatoes we have not harvested so that we pay the school fees. But the miracle happened. And the miracle that happened, we went on strike. So because it's a miracle, we went on strike. So of course the university is closed down. And so he said we have an opportunity now to harvest our potatoes and sell and pay the school fees for the next semester and all that kind of a thing. Now we have to go back to the village. Myself and Alazio and come from Meru. So you have to go back to the village and leave Josephat, who was a master's student, and them they were not affected. But now in our business we discovered we had the wrong partner, because he's the one that we left in Nakuru. So we told him to keep checking our potatoes. So Josephat even doesn't know where the shamba is. Josephat even doesn't have the time to step there. So of course we would keep calling. And that's how we lost our 5 acres of potatoes.
You lost everything.
We lost everything. We lost everything. School fees.
Somebody harvested them? Or?
We've never even gone back. And at least the land for 1 year. And you've only farmed for 1 season. So Josephat has not gone back. So of course we fought so bad. He was with us in the CU. We fought so bad. Of course we are leaders in the Christian Union. Money for school fees. It's drained. We have no money. Of course now I think students are damaged a bit. So there are charges to pay on top of the school fees. Our potatoes, I don't know where they went. So me and my alliance, now you have to start thinking, how do we start life again? And I can't remember where you got money from. Where you got money from. So maybe now after that, maybe quickly on the same line. So of course we continue. Head of 3rd year, we're supposed to go for attachment. Supposed to get already in me the business person in me after Form 4 is still boiling in me. It's only that I can't sell bread in the student hostel because I'm a Christian Union leader. So when you go for the attachment, everybody is applying for attachment where they will be paid and all that. Of course, we made it a prayer item. Somehow, I don't know, I got some wisdom and said that now there is the government, the Ministry of Agriculture. I'll go for attachment in the Ministry of Agriculture in the village. That's where I'll go. Then this money that we are given for attachment, I will invest it in the farm. There is 1 acre at home that was not being, that nothing was happening. So he took the money, the money for attachment. So instead of me going for attachment to pay for accommodation or everything, so he decided to plant potatoes in an acre plus. So because it was the Minister of Agriculture, so I would go on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday and Friday and Saturday, I would go to my shamba. And I knew in the shamba then I'll harvest these potatoes by the time we are done with the attachment. I have money to pay for my 4th year. And clear university. And true to the word, not because I was there, I was able to manage. And I was able to check. I harvested. Oh man, I harvested a lot of potatoes. And actually sold potatoes. I had enough money to pay for my 4th year. Because in the 4th year, we never had a break between the 2 semesters. We did the continuous year. But not because I made money in the potatoes, in the sale, from the money for attachment. And I got a A in my attachment, so I still performed very well. The money I gotten in the attachment, in the potato sale, so it was able to pay for my 2 semesters, for my entire 4th year. Now then we are done with the university. So now we got to come to Nairobi, which actually I think and thank God for today, that there was already a seed that was sown in me then, but I didn't have somebody to start it up or to nurture it up. Because I remember in my 4th year, I did a unit called Entrepreneurship. And the lecturer that we had is called Dr. Coril. Dr. Coril brought somebody to our class who was an entrepreneur, he's still an entrepreneur in the country, an entrepreneur to talk to us. And I told myself, this Mzee that has talked to us, I must talk to him. Because again in the class, when he was talking to us, he said he's born again. I said, I must talk to this Mzee. And just ask him how that he's doing. I remember actually there's a time that he was coming to Nairobi. And I told him that I don't have a class today. Can I accompany you on the way from Nakuru to Nairobi and back? He said, yes, you come. He had a very new Mercedes. So I said, I have time to enjoy a Mercedes, and all that. And actually we drove all the way to Nairobi and back. But now I keep saying one of the things that I missed in the journey, that this gentleman is called Peter. Peter had an opportunity to sow a seed in me or to nurture something. We actually talked about his Mercedes all the way. You know, about his Mercedes all the way and back. But the thing that brought us together was the entrepreneurship thing. And for me today, that's why I keep saying that the opportunity I have to sow a seed in somebody, I need to sow it then. Because back a bit, when I was in Strathmore, there's a gentleman that I met. He was working for KRA, and he had some rent houses in Kawendani, and some rent houses in Kawendani, and 3 matatus, and would actually go to see his matatus and go to see his houses and all that. But him is just showing me his houses, but he's never taken time, because I don't even know how to ask, to tell me how he got himself there. But I remember one time, we went visiting somebody in Rongai who was doing the belts, the belts for men, the brass buckle. He was doing the belts in Rongai, and he had just started his business in a kiosk in the backyard. Now, of course, I didn't have money. I didn't know how to invest in this kind of a thing, so the opportunity, of course, left. And those are people that I said, they came my way, but now I didn't know what to ask. And even I would tell most of our viewers that you've got so many people that come our way, young people, but they don't know what to ask. So don't wait for them to ask. Tell them. Tell them. You help somebody out. Because I keep saying that Peter would have guided me a bit. We had 2.5 hours to come to Nairobi and back. The other gentleman called Harrison, he would have helped me out. But thank God I finished university like every student.
But you still remember them.
Yes, I do.
You remember them.
Yes, I do.
That means there is something out of them that was planted in you. That entrepreneur
mindset, yes.
Yes, it was planted in you. Now, all this time, where is Emmah? I know our time is not very good on us, but where is Emmah, and how did you get into what you are doing now?
Yeah, immediately after university, again, I went to teach the same school that I did secondary school, my KCSE, facing Mount Kenya. So I taught there, but while I'm teaching there, I'm looking for job now in the line of my career or my profession. And every student was to go for attachment. So my attachment I did in Roiro Sigenta branch for production. So, and during attachment, can I say I had the favor of God, because after attachment, again, I had favor of God with my supervisors and the supervisors who are there. So after university, the first place to look for job was where I did my attachment. So I took letters there. I took the HR number. One thing God has helped me, I'm not fearful. I can't fear. As long as I know how to express myself, I don't fear. So I had the number for HR. So once in a while, I could write her a test. How are you? I'm Emmah. I was here for attachment. I'm saying Jambo. Christmas come, I write her Happy Christmas. This is Emmah. I was here for attachment. So she knew I finished university and I'm looking for a job. Now, when I'm teaching in facing Mount Kenya, I received a call. I found a missed call after class. So I call back. And the lady introduced herself. I'm so-and-so. I'm secretary for Foreign. And the HR want to meet you. It was on a Tuesday, on Thursday. Now, Wednesday, I have a day for preparation and also to ask for permission. And I went. I don't know what I said I'm going to do. You know, now I'm also fearing this principal, the owner of the school. I think I just told her that I did not say I'm going for an interview or something. But this lady told me that you are coming actually for an interview. So I came to Roiro for interview, and I did the interview. I passed the interview, and I got the job. Now it's on Thursday. I'm being told you are reporting on Monday. On Monday now for job in Roiro. No relatives that I will go and stay at their place. Now I'm wondering, okay, but I'm not fearing. And Sunday I go to church. I went to church Kerugoya for gospel. And while I'm there, my uncle calls me that morning and he tells me there is his cousin who is coming to Roiro and they live there. I've told them to come and pick you. You come together. That's how miracles were happening. So they come to church. Actually, they picked me in church. They were driving. So they picked me in church. We go collect my small things. What did I have? a stove and few utensils there and there. And we pack and come to Roiro. Now we come to Roiro, we go to their home. They were living in Roiro. So I stayed there, I stayed with them, I'm working. But I'm that person, I need space to grow myself. They had their own home. So there was a comfort zone. And 1 month, I was being paid 16,000. But to me, it was a lot of money. Wow, 16,000. So the first month, I found the staff there, they have a chama. So one of the supervisors, actually my supervisor, he's called Patrick Chege. Now actually the general manager of Port and Syngenta. He told me, tuko na chama, would you mind kuingia? And I said, yes. How much? 4,000 per month. So I got in myself into this chama. And the second month, I told my uncle, this was the first cousin to my mother. I told her, now I'm ready to move out of your house, the second month. And she's like, how? And then my salary I could give him. Like this time I pay Chama 4,000, I give him 4,000 to keep for me. So I tell him, I'm thinking the amount I'm having, I can buy myself a mattress and pay for a house in Roiro prisons. So I went in prison, got a nice job, house, single room. I was paying 2,500 deposit, I paid. So even when I'm actually going to my uncle, I've already paid for the house, deposit and everything. So he asked me, but how now? He wants me to live a good life, comfortable life. But I told him, no, uncle, I can't be able to buy myself a cup. Actually, this is what I told him, while I'm in your house. So allow me to go. And we went. I started with a mattress. Later now I'm moving on. I can attest that my house was very beautiful and everything. That's how I found myself in Nairobi.
Wow. And now we have a few minutes. What are you doing?
Currently, we are number one business people. We are doing an agriculture business, which is Primagro. We are raising seedlings in Nairobi, and my husband will talk more about it. And but I also work for a seed company. It's called Seedico. I'm a key account. I manage the account for export markets in the country. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Now, just like she has mentioned, yes, we run a business called Primagro. Primagro is a business that was born after we read the Bible. we read the Bible, and I remember one time we have a devotion in our house. Previously, I started many businesses together with my wife, and failed many times. We were in transport business. We had bought trucks. One was even actually repossessed by the bank. One was repossessed by the bank, and it is true that one got lost like that. My wife wouldn't stomach that. But what I mean, it's life. Thank God we sold another one. We got ourselves into milk business, that also never worked. Actually, that's when I quit. I joined the bank, worked in the bank. Actually, I was a very good performer in the bank. And I think the me will not keep me there, will not keep me in the bank, because actually got ourselves to the top. Myself to the top, I was nominated as a Star of Africa in the bank as the best performing branch. Then at that point, somebody told me, actually a member of our church, he told me that people quit employment when they are at the top. And then he told me that already in me, it was brilliant that I need to quit. So I resigned. And I remember one morning I come and tell my wife, by the way, I want to resign. She's like, how? And do you resign? I told her, just allow me to just quit this thing. So the day she said I quit, I went to the bank so early and wrote a letter of resignation and left.
Actually, before that, I remember we have just gotten our second born. And there are women who came to visit from the church. One of them is Jane Mutwirandu, to kushika mtoto. And they come and they are discussing, Jane is really psyching Mwenda, my husband, that the aggressive you are having in the bank, you can do better out there. And after they left, My husband had mentioned to me he want to resign. And now he tells me, this is a confirmation. I will resign. And he tells me, I will resign tomorrow. Our baby is very small. Barely, actually, maybe 3 months or so. And he's saying that he wants to resign. I tell him I don't think it's the right time. And then he tells me, just allow me to resign. He had started business, sometimes buying cars, coming, we drive, we used to change cars, like, you know, because he buy, we use it, he sells, he bring another one. So he had started business and working, you know, doing so many things. And in the, I go to work. That time I was working for Amiran, and I'm fearing. I hope he did not resign as he told me. And I called him around 3, and he tells me, I resigned. And I'm like, okay, let me wait and see.
Yes, and thank God. So we read the Bible, Bishop. The talent. It was actually in our house. We read and we asked ourselves, what is it that we have within ourselves? That is after we've done so many businesses, tried this, not working, trying the other, not working, and all that. And actually when we sat down and analyzed ourselves and went back to our roots, we discovered that I was born by a mother who was in agriculture. I did agriculture. The grandfather was in agriculture. Was in agriculture, she did agriculture and all that. And we told ourselves then, I think this is what we need to, be. So we sit down and actually he's saying that then she had been telling me that many times, but I will not see sense. I think until either we visited somebody or something in their farm and we loved what they are doing. So and that's finally how Primagro was born. We are doing the nursery raising propagation. We thank God that our business is there. We are privileged that you came to do the dedication of our business. And now we have transitioned. As we do this, we've expanded, and now we are doing also real farming production. Production in the same space and in the same area. And still it is business that is growing. Why did we call it Primagro? We called it Primagro because we wanted to involve our children. Actually, pray is precious and mad. That's where the two names come from, precious and mad. Precious and mad. And we keep telling them that it is their business. And so they get involved. We allow them to ask us hard questions for the business. We take them to the nursery. And we thank God that we are already getting a name for ourselves in the market in that.
Actually, to add on that, Primagro was born during COVID.
Okay.
COVID, yeah. Where I was working, it is a multinational organization. And when COVID case was announced, we were told not to report to work. So we are there, we are challenging ourselves, what are we good at? And the idea of the nursery came. So I took my husband to several nurseries to see what is this we are really talking about. And thank God because of his support. And maybe I'll look at the camera and say, like, it's good to say these things, Bishop. As you have listened to my story, I'm coming from the village. I'm not exposed at all. Not like him, he was, you know, in Nairobi and being exposed a little bit. And now he marries me. At the beginning, I used not to understand him because he's like, you know, go to driving school, do this. I've done so many other courses, other degrees now when we're married now to my husband, because he's really pushing me to the top. And I will say, men out there, push your wives to the top. You can't be with your wife in the house and, you know, she can't even drive unless she's being driven around. And when now I shared the vision with him, now I'm sharing, and now he took it over. I started now like, this speed is too much. And and setting that business required a lot of capital. And to him, capital is not a stable in block. He's telling me what is supposed to be done. Then leave the rest to me. And the Primagro came like a miracle. 1, his zeal. 2, being supportive. You know, like, yes, if this is it, I believe in it, let go. And that is the way he is, even in the farming. You know, we used to discuss about farming. He used to be more in vehicles, vehicle industry. But when he got it, he really came in, and I can say now we are doing very well in the agriculture, business.
So what you said you have gone into production.
Yes.
What are you producing?
Yes, currently we have gone to French beans for export.
Okay.
We have gotten to French beans for export. We are currently farming for an exporter. In our mind is we are doing it for now, but pushing ourselves to start exporting by ourselves. We're actually in the process of getting our own export license, so we can export by ourselves to wherever that we can, either Europe or such other countries. But currently that is what we're doing. Actually, even as at now, that is what is being done. Of course, that is besides the other things that we're doing, but that is our key thing that we're pushing ourselves to. Yes.
Well, maybe I could ask, are you farming in your own land, or is it land you have leased? Because there's somebody there who is saying, me, I have no land, I cannot farm. How is that?
Oh, nice. Yes. Actually, what we are doing is that we have leased those land. We have. It is land that we have purely leased. Actually, the land that we own ourselves, there is actually none of it that we are farming, because I think we did farming sometimes in Meru. While here, my wife keeps calling it. It is telephone farming. And so we'd actually do a lot of calling. We actually did quite a bit on maize. And it actually, the whole thing backfired. And yes, ourselves, we know this thing, but this thing is not working. So actually, we said that fine, then distance farming is not working for us. So because we didn't have the amount of land that we wanted here, so we have leased. We have leased land from people, and we are farming. One thing I thank God that through your pastoral care, that understatement that you keep telling ourselves, that you keep saying, that a wise man changes his mind. That is a statement that is live in our mind. That when the thing is not working, currently we confidently say it's not working.
So if I have been struggling with this business and it's not working, your advice would be?
I mean, we without feeling anything, without even sweating, or missing your words, I mean, you say it's not working, and it's not working, and you stop and you move on. Because again, we realize that we had actually leased some big farm in Kiambu. It was a big farm. We had put in the infrastructure, the drip lines. We had piped a number of. It was an expensive venture. It was an expensive venture. We did for, I think, like 4 seasons. 4 seasons. The thing was not working for us. So we sat down and said, this thing is not working for us. It is true or loose. But instead of us comforting ourselves and saying that it is working, I mean, let's admit, let's swallow our ego and say it's not working. And we leave it and go where it is working. Where it is working. Whatever that we are able to move, or the drip lines, we moved. What we were not able to move, we just left it and told the owner of the farm, if you want to pay for us, you pay. If you don't, actually, it's never paid. And he said that it should not bother us.
Wow. So, yes. Emmah, what would you like to tell a viewer there in 1 minute who maybe wants to do some farming or some business? What would you have a word of advice that you would like to give to them?
Yes, it is doable. Now I will speak on the line that I am, that is farming. This is what I've experienced for more than 10 years. It is doable. Farming is cool, and farming is enjoyable. But it's also good to do SWOT analysis. Know what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats in this business. Before you just plant chaos, know that this is science. By the way, farming is science, and at the same time, it is an art. A science is where you get challenges, maybe pests and diseases. Be that aggressive person. Currently, at least, we are moving, the technology has really advanced. You don't have to get, a professionist or an agronomist, but we have phones, WhatsApps. Just take a photo of the challenge, send it to the person that you know can help, and work immediately. I mean, implement immediately. Because again, a crop is like a baby. If a baby has fever and you fail to, address the issue, the baby might die. But I see us as mothers and fathers, we take an immediate, to address the issue when it comes to the babies. The same with the crop. If there is an issue, you need to address it immediately, lest now it becomes that you cannot change the situation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you? They want some seeds that you may sell to them, some seeds. How do they get to you?
Oh, great. Thank you, Bishop. And as I give my number, something that I should not miss saying is that it's good to know what is the strength of your spouse, as even as you engage yourself, so that then you can synergize and you don't have to compete. Now, how do you get in touch with us? You can call me. My number is 0721-365-349, or you can call direct into our nursery. The number is 0796-140-566. Somebody will be there waiting to talk to you.
Well, thank you so much. We have really enjoyed. Thank you for all the treasures that you have released. I believe that somebody out there has received something and they will remember this day. Our viewers, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed yourself and you have received something. May the Lord richly bless you. Our guests have been Godfrey and Emmah Mwenda, and you can get them through that number that's scrolling right on your screen, and get in touch with them and you can get your seeds. For now, this is your pastor and your friend, Bishop Mark Karaoke, through Open Talk, saying to you, ciao, ciao. We'll see you this coming Wednesday. God bless you. We love you and we value you.